Okay, so good morning. Good day everyone. So this will be a makeup class para doon sa Art 8 natin kasi last week 'di ba medyo busy si Sir. So madali lang naman yung lessons natin sa art kasi kaparehas lang siya ng mga topics natin sa music. So most of our topics in music and art are correlated or magkaparehas lang. Okay? So Asian Festivals and Traditional Theaters Week 1 to 4. Okay, so announcement muna yung quarter 4 natin. Yung mga LAS, nagkaroon tayo ng problema. So, ang pinost ko pa lang sa Google Classroom is yung mga, yung performance task. Dalawa lang yung performance task natin sa art. So, we have yung puppet show na kasama sa music. Okay, music and art yung grade ng puppet show. So make sure na nakagawa kayo ng puppet show. And then yung pangalawang performance task is yung mask making, which is may due this coming this today Sunday, tapos or sige i-move natin yung due ng mask making until Friday this week, June 11. Okay? So, yung mga LAS, late ko siyang ipopost. So, yung mga performance task, yun muna yung pinaka gawin. So, late submissions for art component will have a demerit or magkakaroon ng minus. Yung some quizzes and summative tests for music and art 8 shall be posted June 11, Friday this week. Okay? And then all tests shall be open lang. So, alam niyo naman yung sa paggawa ng LAS, copy and answer, follow the margin. You may use back of the paper if necessary, and then only one paper will be used. So, for week 1, festivals and theatrical forms of selected Asian countries. So, una is Peking Opera, alam niyo na to. Sometimes called Beijing Opera. Teka, lagyan natin. Okay, Beijing Opera, it is a dramatic play infusing four artistic methods, singing, dancing, martial art, and dialogue. So alam nyo na to, na-discuss na natin to sa music. Yan, example ng Peking Opera. Yan. Okay, so makikita nyo naman, elaborate yung costume, tas may face painting. Next, Wayang Kulit of Indonesia, puppet show to. So na-discuss na rin natin to sa music natin. Yan, it's an example of a Wayang Kulit. Next is Taiko Drum Festival. It's one of the Matsumoto's exciting summer festivals. So the Taiko Festival at Matsumoto Castle that features different Taiko drum groups of Japan. So yan. So mainly puro drum. So parang drum line or para silang puro percussion instruments yung ginagamit nila. And mainly puro taiko. Okay, different sizes of taiko. Okay? So ito example ng Taiko Drum Festival.
友人がごとく自衛隊が放つ魂の炎昇竜。
Yan, so mapapansin nyo, di ba, different sizes ng drum. Ako naghang. Ba yung loading? Mahina yung internet ni sir. Teka. Forward natin. Okay, different sizes. Puro taiko yan, pero different sizes ng taiko. Choridaiko, taiko, odaiko. Yan. Tap na natin. So baka naiingayan na kayo. Okay, sige. So, ayan, Taiko Drum. The Taiko Drumline or Taiko Drum Festival.
友人がご
Next is Kabuki Theater of Japan. So, ito ay na-discuss na rin natin. So, yan. Yan, example ng, so, alam niyo na yan, puro lalaki sila, tapos nagwe-wear sila ng wig, and then puro face painting. Next, Loy Krathong of Thailand. It's a colorful festival held every year on the 12th full moon of the Thai lunar calendar. So the Krathong, it's a small floating flower offering with candles and incense floated in the river. So ito ay parang nandoon yung mga well-wishers nila, aspirations and dreams, tapos pino-flow nila doon sa river. Okay? So yan. Tapos nagpapalipad din sila ng mga flying lanterns. Okay? So ito.
The Loy Krathong and Yipeng festivals, or as they're more commonly known around the world as the Floating Lantern Festivals of Thailand, are held all throughout the country, and it is a spectacle that you don't want to miss. Trust me. I'm my mate Nate with Thailand69ways.com, and in this video, I'll be taking you through all the various activities so that you can get the most out of your experience when you're here in Thailand. Let's get started. The Loy Krathong festival is deeply rooted in the Buddhist religion, and there are two main things that they do to celebrate the Loy Krathong festival. The first is asking forgiveness from the water god for polluting the water and for not conserving enough water in the past year. The second thing they do for Loy Krathong is to get rid of the bad in their lives. They do that by buying these little boats, which can be bought anywhere along the street side, anywhere in Thailand. You buy these boats and you put all the bad in your life, all the bad karma and all the bad things in your life. You put it onto this boat and you let it float away down the river. Not only is this a religious and a cultural festival, but over the years it has evolved into somewhat of a romantic festival. Most of the Thai locals, instead of putting the boats out by themselves, if they have that special someone, they'll buy one boat for the two of them and put it out together. Let's talk about what most people want to see when we talk about the Loy Krathong festival, which is the floating sky lanterns, not the floating river lanterns. The floating sky lanterns are actually a part of the Lana festival. It's also known as the Yipeng festival in Thai. And it just so happens that the Lana and Yipeng festival coincide with the Loy Krathong festival. They are actually not related at all whatsoever. They have nothing to do with each other, but they happen on the full moon. That's why people get the Loy Krathong and the Yipeng festivals mixed up into the same festival. Floating the lanterns into the sky is almost the exact opposite of putting the lanterns into the water. When you put the lantern into the sky, you are putting it out there to ask for blessings, that your next year in life is going to be full of riches and to be happy and to be blessed. Because the floating lanterns are a hazard to aircraft and they can also damage important buildings or homes in the area, recently the government has been cracking down, and in the year 2015, the only place you could go to release the sky lanterns was in Chiang Mai. And it just so happens that I was there and was able to capture this amazing footage in 4K quality for you to see. Check it out. Well, that's all I have for you guys. If you have any more questions regarding these festivals or any
Okay, so yun yung about sa Loy Krathong Festival.
the Loy Krathong and Yipeng
Okay, next is Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year. So this festival that celebrates the beginning of the new year on the traditional lunisolar Chinese calendar. It's also called a Spring Festival or the Lunar New Year. So the first day of Chinese New Year begins on the new moon that appears between 21st of January to 20th of February. Okay? So paiba-iba yan. Depende sa paglabas ng bagong moon. So ito yung story behind the Chinese New Year. So may yan, alam niyo na yan, nagpaano sila ng dragon, meron din silang lion dance. Okay, nagsusuot sila ng pula, etc. So ano yung behind that? Ba't sila nagsusuot ng pula? Bakit may dragon, etc. Ba't may fireworks? Ba't may ingay? Okay? So ito yung story behind that.
新年快乐! Happy New Year! Join us as we explore Lunar New Year, a holiday that dates back thousands of years. Today we'll travel to China to explore the rich traditions that have been passed down from generations to celebrate the holiday. Another year of good fortune is beginning in China. Fireworks pop high in the sky, dragons dance in the streets, and the city slows down to celebrate Lunar New Year. In Chinese culture, it's the most important time of the year, rooted in traditions and customs passed down through the ages. The celebration lasts for 15 magical days full of family togetherness, delicious food, and good fortune. Today, Lunar New Year is filled with happiness. But according to legend, it didn't start out that way. A long, long time ago in China, there was a big, scary, nasty beast named Nian, whose name means year. He had razor-sharp teeth, giant claws, and a really mean growl. Most of the time he lived in the wilderness, but on the darkest night of the year, when the new moon was in the sky, he would sneak into the village and scare everyone in sight, even the animals. People dreaded the new moon for many, many years, until a wise man taught them the 3 things Nian was afraid of: loud noises, fire, and the color red. The next time Nian came, the villagers fought back. They hit their drums as loud as they could, lit every firecracker they had, and wore the color red from head to toe. Nian ran far away and never came back. After that, the people started celebrating the new moon instead of fearing it. That celebration became a 15-day festival of family, food, and good fortune called Lunar New Year. Every Lunar New Year is always represented by one of 12 animals in the Chinese zodiac, chosen by the Jade Emperor of China centuries and centuries ago. According to legend, a long time ago in China, the Jade Emperor held a great race. The first 12 animals to reach his palace would be the winners, and they would each get a year named after them in their honor. During the race, the ox was winning until he had to cross a rushing river. The rat was right behind him and couldn't swim very well. So the kind ox let the rat ride on his back. As soon as they got to the other side, the rat jumped off and scurried to the finish line to win the race first. That's why the first year in the Chinese zodiac calendar is the year of the rat. 11 other animals reached the palace to create the 12-year cycle of the Chinese zodiac. It's said that the animal your birth year is named after can shape your personality and destiny. You might be honest like a dragon or smart like a monkey. When your animal takes its turn in the zodiac cycle, legend has it that your year will be full of surprises. But no matter which animal you are, everyone is excited to honor these ancient traditions, even in modern New Year celebrations. Today, Lunar New Year brings families together all over the world. In fact, billions of people travel back to their homes and families in China to feast on a delicious reunion dinner with plates and plates of homemade food. Many of the foods like egg rolls, noodles, and shrimp mean something special. Egg rolls symbolize wealth for the coming year because they look like bars of solid gold. Chow mein noodles shouldn't be cut because long noodles symbolize health for a long life. Shrimp symbolizes happiness because the Mandarin words for shrimp and smile sound very similar. As part of the festivities, lucky red envelopes called hongbao are passed out to children as well as unmarried adults. In Chinese culture, the color red symbolizes luck. In order to receive the red envelopes, well wishes are given to the elders. Thank you, Grandpa. Money is inside each envelope to bring prosperity and good fortune in the coming year. During all 15 days of Lunar New Year, it is a time to reflect on the passing year and celebrate the future. Bright fireworks light up the sky, and huge parades line the streets until the final day of the New Year's celebration, the Lantern Festival. when thousands of red lanterns glow in the night to bring good fortune to all. No matter where you live, you can join the festivities, whether it's one reunion dinner with your family or 15 days of celebrating togetherness.
Happy Chinese New Year!
Lunar New Year is open to everyone. We invite you to learn more and join the celebration.
Okay, so that's all about the Chinese New Year. So alam niyo na yung kung bakit sila nagsusuot ng pula, bakit din sila nagpapaputok, okay? Okay, kasi meron silang legend na sinusunod. Okay? And then, in-explain din doon yung mga Chinese zodiacs. Okay? So,
新年快乐 Happy New
okay. For week 3, we have the Philippine festivals. Yung week 2 kasi ay about the history ng mga yun. Okay, so hindi ko na nilagay kasi medyo matagal yun. Tsaka i-discuss ko siya ng separate later. Okay? So yung Philippine festivals, ano siya, meron siyang dalawang category. We have the religious festival and the non-religious. Pag sabi natin religious festivals, these are festivals na merong pertaining to any religion. Okay? Or merong mga santo. Okay? Or basta tungkol sa religion. Okay? For example, ati-atihan, okay, 'di ba? Ano to tungkol kay Santo Niño. Okay? Sinulog, ganun din. Dinagyang, okay, Moriones. Okay, ito naman yung tungkol sa mga tawag dito mga sundalo, okay, na umapi kay Jesus. Okay? Carabao Festival para doon naman sa patron saint ng mga Carabao. Okay? Kapayas, okay, the Gigantes, fertility dance, okay? Okay? Yung para kay Santa Clara, okay? And then Santa Cruzan, okay? That's also a religious festival. For non-religious festival, ito naman yung pertaining to any festival na not pertaining to religion. Okay? For example, the Panagbenga, this is a flower festival, 'di ba? Hindi naman siya religious, hindi naman siya related sa religion. Okay? So next is Kadayawan para sa Masaganang Ani, Mascara, and then the Giant Lantern. Next is Philippine theatrical forms. Okay, unang-una is yung komedya or moro-moro. During All Saints Day or other religious festival. One is yung paglalaban ng mga Muslim at mga Katoliko. Okay. Senakulo during the Holy Week, ito yung sasabuhay ng kamatayan ni Jesus. And then of course, we have the Zarzuela. It is performed well known by theater group in the CCP. Now, Zarzuela, these are ating Philippine style ng Broadway. Okay. So, ito yung mga may kanta, may sayaw, may costume. Okay. So, para siyang theater. Okay. Pero, this one is adapted natin sa mga Spaniards. Pero, inano lang natin. Tawag dito, minodify natin to make it or to make it on our own. Okay? To make it our own. Sorry. Okay. So week 4 elements and principles, we have the different elements of principles to pertaining to 3 categories. We have the Peking Opera, Kabuki Theater, and the Wayang Kulit. Okay, wait lang. So the first one would be the Peking Opera. So for the Peking Opera, sorry. So for the Peking Opera, mabilis lang to kasi alam nyo na to eh. Medyo hindi na natin i-detail pa yung iba. Okay? Pero medyo alam nyo na naman siya. Okay. So, yan. Share. Okay. So, Peking Opera of China, medyo alam nyo na to. Diniscuss na naman natin to sa music natin. So, tayo. So, China is known for their traditional Peking Opera or Beijing Opera. It combines music, vocal performance, pantomime dance, and acrobatics. So, nagsimula siya noong 18th century to mid-19th century. During the Qing Dynasty, it became extremely popular and came to be regarded as one of the cultural treasures of China. So, yung mga naggustong sumali sa Peking Opera, yung mga bata pa lang, 7 years old pa lang, tin-train na nila. Okay? So after 1911, training took place in more formally organized schools. So after ng schooling nila, ng learning sila sa eskwelahan, 5 o'clock, meron silang mga 5 o'clock in the morning, meron exercises. Okay, and then after ng school nila, dun yung mga practice. Okay? So daytime was spent learning the skills and acting of the combat, and senior students perform in outside theaters in the evening. So character and roles. Ano ba yung mga usual characters natin sa Peking opera? The first one is the Sheng. It's a Peking opera's main role. Ito yung usually role ng mga lalaki, Sheng. And then the Sheng is it has three kinds. Una is Xiao Sheng. These are handsome, these are men actors, okay, na handsome and young image na pinoproject nila. Next, we have the Wu Sheng. These are martial characters for role involving combat. So they are highly trained in acrobatics and have a natural voice when singing. And then the last one is the Lao Sheng. It's a dignified older role. So ito yung mga lalaking roles na matanda. So again, we have the Sheng. Under Sheng, we have Sheng. It's a male role. So under Sheng, we have three kinds. We have the Lao Sheng, Xiao Sheng, and the Wu Sheng. Okay. So how about the female? For the female roles, we have what we call the Dan. Okay, any female role. So for the Dan, we have 5 kinds. We have the Lao Dan for an old woman, Wu Dan for martial woman. Ang counterpart nito is the Wu Sheng. Yung isa Lao Dan, Lao Sheng. Dao Ma Dan, it's a young female warrior. And the Xingyi, it's an elite virtuous woman. And then the Wadan, it's an unmarried vivacious woman. Also, we have the Jing. It's a painted face male role who plays either primary or secondary role. Okay, so this type of role entails a forceful character, may strong voice, and exaggerated gestures. So the red color denotes loyalty and goodness, white denotes evil, and black denotes integrity. Okay, so next is the Shao. For Shao, it's a male clown for secondary roles. So the Shao, meaning ugly, reflects the traditional belief that the clown's ugliness and laughter could drive away evil spirits. So meron pa ring religious concept between the Peking opera. Okay. Visual performance of elements, these are yung mga galaw nila, may mga ibig sabihin yun. Okay? We have the song, speech, dance. Under dance, we have the pure dance, pantomime, and other types of dances. And then the combat. Under combat, we have the acrobatics and the fighting with all matter of weaponry. Okay. For Peking opera's facial makeup colors and their meanings. So alam nyo na to kasi tinalakay na natin to ng second quarter. So we have the black, the blue, the green, purple, red, reddish purple or magenta, white, and the yellow. Okay? So shawal yan, ito yung mukha ng clown or the shaw na merong small patch of chalk around the nose. Okay? Yan. So clowns of traditional drama who wears this special makeup show a mean and secretive character. Okay, aesthetic aims and principal movements. So ito yung sinabi ko kanina, yung bawat galaw nila merong mga meaning. So walking in a large circle, okay, kunyari nasa stage, umikot, okay, large circle, always symbolizes traveling a long distance. A character straightening his or her costume and headdress symbolizes that an important character is about to speak. So tinalakay na rin natin to doon sa music, doon sa kabuki. Okay? Pantomimic is the opening and closing of the doors and mounting and descending of the stairs. So, merong pantomime na nagagawa. Kunyari, nagbubukas ng pinto, nagsasara. Okay? Makit ng stairs, bumaba ng stairs. Okay, next is staging and costumes. For stage, we have square platforms. Actions on stage is usually visible from least 3 sides. Okay? So, merong nakikita lahat nung nandoon sa stage. Okay, for costumes, we have the Xingtu or known as Shifu. So these Shifu, these this enables the audience to distinguish a character's sex and status at first glance. So makikita mo pa lang yung sa costume pa lang. So if a noble or humble civilian or military, official or private citizen give expressions to sharp distinctions between good and evil. Okay? So meron ding oblong wings or cheesy. Okay? Indicate a loyal official. Okay, kapag may mga wings. So a corrupt official is made to wear a gauze hat with rhomboidal wing. Next, props. So yung mga props nila, konti lang din. Okay? Always na merong table and at least one chair which can be turned into conventional into such diverse objects such as city wall, a mountain, or a bed. So, nagpapalit-palit yung mga props nila. Okay, musicians, alam nyo na to, na-discuss na natin to sa music. And then, performers, move to the center. Yung performer, lagi nag-move sa center. And then, nag-enter sila from east, nag-exit lagi sa west. Okay? So, next would be the Kabuki Theater. For the Kabuki Theater, wait lang. Ito kasi alam nyo na rin ito eh. Wait lang. Okay, for the Kabuki Theater, okay, so we have the following. So, meaning Kabuki, okay, act dissolutely. For Ka, meaning song, Bu for dance, Ki for art and skill. So, it's a song and dance art. Okay? So, the art of singing and dancing, that's the meaning of Kabuki. Derived from Kabuku, to lean or to be out of ordinary. So, Kabuki Mono referred originally to those who were bizarrely dressed and paraded on the street. And the Kabuki Theater, ito yung nandun sa theater. Okay? So, this is an example of their stage. Okay, didiscuss natin mamaya kung ano na yun makikita dyan. Okay? Kabuki stage features, una naman natin is the Hanamichi. It's a flower path or a walkway which extends to the audience by which dramatic entrances and exits are made. Okay? So, Okuni also performs on a Hanamichi stage with her entourage. Yan, makita nyo. Okay, so ito yung audience, tapos merong stage sa gilid na maliit na pathway. Tawag doon is the Hanamichi. Next is Kogakudo. Okay, that have Kabuki theaters that have stages both in front and of the audience and along the sides. Okay, so nagki-create yun ng bond between the actors and the viewers. So mas gusto nilang nakaka-connect. Hindi kagaya nung sa Peking Opera na nandun lang sa unahan. Sila gusto nila nakaka-connect sa audience. Okay? Damawaraw Butal, ito yung revolving stage, yung umiikot-ikot. Okay? It's a circular, it's a mechanical circular thingy doon sa stage na pwedeng umikot. Tapos nagpapalit-palit ng, nagpapalit-palit ng actors and then ng mga props. Okay. Supon, these are platform that rises from below the stage. So, lagi sila may ganon, supon. So, kunyari, gusto lalabas yung isang actor, pwede siyang magaling doon sa supon na nasa ilalim ng stage. Tapos, iaangat lang siya. Yun, supon yung tawag. So, Hanamicho, it's a walkway that cuts through the audience seating area to connect the stage with the back of the theater. Okay? So, yan. So, maraming mga trapdoors, maraming mga pathway sa sa Kabuki Theater kasi nga mas gusto nila maka-connect sa audiences nila. So, three main categories of Kabuki play we have the Jitai Mono. Jitai Mono, it's a historical or pre-Sengoku period stories. Okay? Next is Sewa Mono. These are domestic or post-Sengoku stories. Nagpo-focus to sa mga commoners. Next is Shosagoto. Ito yung mga dance pieces o sayaw. Elements of Kabuki, we have the Miye. Lagi may Miye, yun di ba? Diniscuss natin to sa music. May picturesque pose to establish his character and his house named Yago. Okay, so laging merong posing muna bago magpakilala yung actors. Okay, two main categories of actors. We have the Onagoto and Aragoto. Onagoto pag female, Aragoto pag male. For makeup, we have, of course, ayan, makeup nila, white muna, tapos may lalagay sila ng black and red, and then sometimes iba't ibang kulay. Okay, yan. Komadori, yan. So yung ginagamit nila is, tawag doon is oshiroy. It's a rice powder. Okay, yun yung nag-create ng base. Okay, yun yung white. Okay. So, blah, 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 blah. So, the play occupies five acts. Una is the jaw, slow opening, and the ha, speeding events, and the cue, providing a quick and satisfying conclusion. So, kabuki props, usually interesting yan. Okay. Flowing water usually represented by fluttering tolls of linen. Fans are used to symbolize wind, sword, tobacco pipes, waves, or food. Okay. For costumes, other costumes, yung mga babae nagsusot ng kimono and obi. Okay. Pleated hakuma trousers are worn by characters of sexes. Okay. Actors playing both sexes often have supported midriff. Straight and curveless figure are regarded the essence of beauty. Okay, yan, yung mga costume nila. Okay? So, costume changing, ito yun, di ba, nakita nyo doon sa video natin sa Kabuki Theater na nag-change sila ng costume. Okay, bigla ang changing ng costume. It's considered as an art. Siyempre, nagsasort din sila ng wig, kaya sabi ko sa inyo. Okay. Usually made daw ng human hair, horse hair, bear fur, or yak-tail hair. So, ito yung mga examples ng wig nila. So, that's all for Kabuki. Let's go now to our last topic, which is the wayang kulit. Sabi sa inyo, mabilis lang. Kasi ano to yung sa art natin, halos kaparehas lang din siya nung sa ano natin. Halos kaparehas lang siya nung music natin. So, very minimal lang yung mga tinatalakay. Okay? Kasi natakil na natin siya sa music. So, nagiging redundant lang. Tapos, di ba, natalakay na din natin halos lahat nung second quarter. Okay? So, for wayang kulit, shadow place. Okay, next. Natin. Ay, nangyayari. Okay, yan. Nakikita sa Indonesia. Next. Okay, ito yung front. Okay, so merong light lang. Tapos merong mga characters andun. And then sa back, andun yung puppeteer, yung dalang, and then the puppets. So dalang, siya yung pinaka-importante because he tells the story, manipulates the figure, interprets the characters and voices for each, and produces sound effects, punctuating speech and movement. Okay, the dalang also sings, cues the musical accompaniment, which is the gamelan, speaks several languages, and blesses the performance and surrounding area with mantras. Okay, so yung dalang, siya yung pinaka-skilled sa lahat. Okay? Kasi imagine if you have 15 characters, the dalang creates 15 kinds of voices for each character. Okay? And then siya talaga yung pinakamagaling na puppeteer. Okay? Kasi nag-interpret siya ng character, nagbibigay siya ng boses, nag-cue siya sa musical accompaniment which is the gamelan. Okay? Numakanta rin siya, etc. So yung mga kibayang kulit puppets are made up of water buffalo leather. Okay? Or yung balat ng kalabaw. Okay? The next, the leather is sanded or inaanoan ng pinapakinis. And then carved. And then painted. Okay? Tsaka pinipinturahan yung mga paint. Yung mga puppets. And then the gold leaf is applied. Gold leaf, these are very thin gold. Okay, na halos pag nilagay mo sa balat mo, para siyang naghihiwa-hiwalay na. Okay, ganon. So, we have the gunungan. These are gunungan or mountain or kayanon for forest. Okay, ito yung most important part of the show. It's used to signal the beginning and the end of the performance. Okay, the gunungan is placed in the center of the screen, separating the opposed group of characters. Okay, so yan. So para siyang separator, yung gunungan. Gunungan, ibig sabihin mountain or kayanon for forest. Okay, so gunungan yan, nasa gitna. Okay. So, mga characters yan. So, characters with narrow eyes are refined and elegant. And with wide eyes are more down to earth. If you were a wayang kulit puppet, what would your eyes look like? Okay. So, paano ngayon yung sa ilaw? Okay, over the head of the dalang, ito yung tinatawag natin na brass oil lamp or blenkong. Okay, it's often shaped like a mythical bird called as the Garuda. So the light shining from the lamp on the head of the dalang, making possible the projection of the shadow, represents the divine light infused through the upper chakra in the dalang. Okay, so medyo meron pa ring meron pa ring religious aspect. Okay. So the Garuda, it's a large mythical bird or bird-like creature that appears in both Hindu and Buddhist religion. So usually ang stories natin sa wayang kulit is the Ramayana. Okay? Isa yun sa mga popular stories. So here are some characters of the Ramayana. Of course, si Garuda or mythical bird. Okay, si Rama. Okay? Si Sita, ito yung love of his life. Okay? And then sa Hanuman, Raksasa. And si Ravana. So, yun, tapos na. So, there are different elements na tinalakay doon sa different parts ng art natin. So, yung mga LAS, I'll be posting it later. Okay? So, I hope you finished this video. I hope you watched it. So, kapag natapos yung video, congratulations. Okay? Kasi hindi ko na siya i-discuss. By tomorrow, siguro by this week, tatalakayin ko na yung PE kasi performance task lang naman yung tatalakayin ko sa inyo. More on performance task lang muna tayo kasi nagkaroon nga ng problema sa LAS. But I'll still be posting for LAS. It would still be graded. Okay? Pero siguro kopya-kopya na lang. Ayun lang. So everyone, so thank you for joining me for this tama ba yun? Thank you for joining me for this makeup lesson in Art 8. So kita nyo naman very maikli lang, di ba? Kasi talagang tinalakay na natin nung music pa lang. Okay? So everyone say goodbye and thank you and I hope I see you in my class. Thank you. Goodbye.